Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday. Today is March 23rd, and I want to do a little something different this morning. I want to come in and chit chat with you all and do a quick little get ready with me. It is about 8:30, 8:32. I have an appointment at 10:15. So I want to do a quick get ready with me and do a chit chat. I seem to get a lot of questions on how do I get my start in insurance? Am I a broker? How is it easy? All those questions. So I want to do a quick little get ready with me and answer those questions. And let me apologize for the screaming you hear in the background. It is not a baby. I am not doing any type of child abuse. We do have 2 baby cockatiel birds, and she is going crazy because she wants out the cage right now. So she is okay. She's just finding her voice. So I do want to apologize for her screaming in the background. But she's a little cockatiel bird. She's about that big. And I can't have her out unattended because we also have 2 dogs, and if I'm not in there with her to supervise, then I don't want to have her out unattended. So that's why you have the screaming. But let's go ahead and jump right in and, like I said, do a quick little get ready with me. I need to be out of here in an hour. I'm not going that far, so I need to be out of here in an hour. So we're gonna see if I can get that all the way done. Okay, so I closed the door a little bit and I turned off the fan, so hopefully that'll help tune out some of the noise. But I hopped in the shower this morning, washed my face, so now I'm gonna start putting on my skincare. I don't do a lot of makeup, but I do a little bit of makeup, and we'll just do the whole get ready with me. So I like to start with this Laneige lip, what is this? Lips mask. It is amazing. It's amazing. And for the ladies, if you want to know what products I use on my face, I use all of the Skin Script. I use Skin Script line. It is amazing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So anyhow, I wanted to get started with the number one question I get seems to be, how did I get my start in insurance? And so I don't have you here all day. I didn't jump into insurance on my own. I kind of was brought into it. So I like to say I didn't find insurance, but insurance found me, so I say. So my background, just really quick. I have a background in administration, admin, reception assistants, clerical, all type of administrative work. So crazy enough, I worked for 2 insurance companies. One insurance company was MetLife. I worked for the broker. I was his direct assistant to one of the brokers for MetLife. Did a couple years with him. Then I also worked for New York Life. I was one of their office assistant. It was an office assistant 2 position for New York Life. And both times that I worked for those companies, I had absolutely no desire to get licensed in insurance. Now, I knew what the agents did. I knew what my broker did. I knew the money that they were pulling in. I just didn't see myself in a sales position role like that. So I had no desire to get licensed and work in industry. The MetLife broker that I worked for, he wanted me to. He was like, hey, partner up with me. We could go far. I just didn't have the desire. But prior to getting into the position I'm in now, I worked for an airline, and I was an executive assistant for the flight operations team, the pilot group. And I had a coworker. She was also in the same department, but her position, it was like a position within a position. Her position got eliminated. So she got let go. And we were cool. We would hang out outside of work and everything. So I was really upset that she got let go and that position got eliminated. We had been there together at that point probably 4 or 5 years. I did almost 10 years at the airline. So we had been together almost 4 to 5 years in that same. So yeah, her position got eliminated. Now we also worked with the gentleman in HR, and he did insurance services on the side. That was like his side job, his night job. So he invited her out to, one of the meetings, the Tuesday night meeting, right? So he invited her out to the meeting, and she went, she liked it, and she decided to moisturize her. She decided to go and get licensed and do the business. So she invited me to the meeting. Now, again, I had no interest, but because I knew her, I knew what happened to her position, I did it as a help to her. I was like, well, sure, I'll go and I'll help you out. Oh, and side note, you guys want to know what I'm putting on my face. So I use the Skin Script Cucumber Cleanser. I already washed my face. Then I go in with the Cucumber Hydration Toner. Then I use the Vitamin C Green Tea Serum. And then the Acai Berry Moisturizer. And then also have my under eye peptide serum. So I go to help her. Now, you know, at these meetings, they're ultimately trying to recruit you, right? They're telling you the benefits, how you can help families, yada, yada, yada. Well, this particular day, I actually went on a Saturday. They had their big Saturday meeting, so I attended with her. I've attended these meetings before. I've been recruited by a, what's that big company? They do term. I can't think of their name, but they do a lot of term insurance. But anyhow, they tried to do it. Like again, my MetLife broker tried to do it. New York Life, they didn't push, but they were like, hey, this is also an option. So I knew what they were all about. Well, you know, sometimes when you go to these meetings, they touch a point of where they hit you in the place that hurts. So, little backstory, I lost 2 sisters. I had 2 younger sisters, and they both died in car accidents. So, at this particular meeting, the person that was presenting kind of hit home because they were touching on losing loved ones, and they touched on losing loved ones the way I lost both of my sisters. They didn't pass at the same time. They passed within 3 years of each other, but they both were due to auto and motorcycle accidents. So anyhow, they touched on that. So it hit home for me. Then also I wanted to be a help to my friend because I knew what happened to her at our job. So I decided, what the heck? I'll get licensed. I know it'll help you, right? You'll get some type of whatever income, something reimbursement for me signing up under you. So I did that. And I was with World Financial Group. So I decided to go ahead and sign up. This was 2018. So I got licensed, passed the test, got my life and health, and was like, okay. I started to go to a couple of the trainings and realized down the line, a couple of months down the line, that yeah, maybe this is not for me. Maybe that's not for me. I really just wanted to help people with insurance, you know, share my story, as they say, and help people with insurance. But the team, I felt like they were more on the recruiting, let's build a business side, which was, I was not interested in because I had a full-time job. I just wanted to, you know, help out a couple people, help my friend, and see what it could do. Make a little extra income if I could, but no stress if I couldn't, because I was comfortable and okay with the position that I was in. So after about, I would say 6 to 8 months, things were okay. I wasn't like killing it in the game. I wasn't like balling, selling insurance policies. It was more of attending trainings, getting the knowledge, so on and so forth. Well, my youngest daughter plays soccer. And one day we're at a tournament in Arizona. All the parents are just talking. She had been with this team for a couple of seasons, so we all knew each other very well. We're just on the sidelines, just having a conversation. Somehow the conversation got to business, and we were all kind of like, okay, so what's going on now? One of the parents on the team was saying how he was getting ready to sell his agency and retire. So naturally, we're like, well, what agency? And he was a farmer's agent. And he mentioned how he was, slowing down. He wanted to retire, sell his book of business, got blah, blah, blah. And so at this point, I said, oh, I didn't know that's what you did. I recently got into insurance myself. We're just talking back and forth. And he's like, well, hey, how's it going? I said, well, it's going, but it's no biggie. I did it to help out a friend. I did a couple of policies. It's cool. But they really want to go on the building a business side. I'm not really trying to do that. I got a full-time job. I'm doing the whole mama travel sports thing. My oldest daughter was dancing, so I was just like, it is what it is. Well, he mentioned to me that I might want to look into selling Medicare. And I did not have a clue what Medicare was. I knew it was insurance for seniors, but I had absolutely no clue on what Medicare was. Sorry, I wanted to go check on homegirl real quick. She's all right. So now I'm gonna finish off with some super goop. So I had no clue what Medicare was. So I was like, well, okay, sure. So he gave me a little bit more information, but I'm thinking, you do auto and home insurance. How would you know about Medicare, right? So anyhow, I didn't let it go, but I didn't pursue it until one day. And at this point, it's probably a year later. So I got the license originally in 2018. So this is probably August, September 2019, right? I am out and about. I'm actually going to meet up with a girlfriend, and I run into Walgreens because I wanted to pick up a gift card because it was her birthday and we were doing like a brunch. Well, as I'm walking into the Walgreens, I see a gentleman, and he is setting up like a table / kiosk, and it had Medicare, United Healthcare, Medicare on there. And so I'm just, going about my business. I grabbed the gift card, grabbed a card, and I went back and I said, excuse me, sir, how did you get into this? How did you start Medicare? I said, because I'm licensed and I have my health license, and I guess, again, I did not know, I guess this is what you use it for. So I'm just inquiring on how a person like me that may want to get started in Medicare, how would I get started? So he goes, oh, we talked for a few minutes as he's setting up. He says, well, it's not hard to start. You already have the hard part out of the way because you're already licensed. You just need to get certified and get appointed. And I said, okay, so what's certified and appointed? And so he gave me a card. He gave me a card to a lady. She was a broker manager. And he says, call her and she could get you appointed and help you with your certifications. So I held on to the card for a couple of weeks. I went back to my company and I was like, hey, how do you guys do health insurance, Medicare? They really weren't into doing that. They were more into pushing the life products and so forth. So long story short, I ended up ending my contract with them, and I went to another IMO because my mom's friend was also doing insurance, and she was with this IMO, and she had been a family friend for a while. So I decided to align myself with her IMO and still keep my life business going. So I got reappointed, got some life contracts going, and started to build that back up. But I pulled out that card to the lady he gave me, and I called and I sent her an email and I said, hey, I am interested in learning more about Medicare, blah, blah, blah. So she asked me if I was already contracted. I told her I was with an IMO for my life insurance business side. and so on and so forth. So we communicated a little bit, but they were going into their AEP. So there was really nothing for me to do until the end of the AEP. Because remember, I met this gentleman around August, September. So they were prepping for their AEP, and she wanted to hold off until January, which was fine. That gave me some time to do a little research and so on and so on. So in a nutshell, that is how I got into insurance. Long story, but that's really how I got into insurance. So I put my sunscreen on. Now I'm gonna do the little bit of makeup that I do, which it's not really makeup. All I really use is the Ilia skin tint and mascara and lip gloss. That's it. I'm not a huge makeup wearer, but that is really all that I do to the face. So I'll put a little bit of that on as we finish talking. So that's really how I got my start in insurance. In a nutshell, I did my certification and contracting appointments with Medicare in 2020, and I started, I did my first AEP 2020. Unfortunately, when I got started, everything was shut down, so I was not able to attend any in-person trainings. So everything I did was virtual. And if I'm gonna be completely honest, my first AEP 2020 was absolutely terrible because I had no clue what I was doing. But I decided to stick with it because I was highly interested in it. And at that point, it was more of like a challenge, like, no, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm gonna do really good and win this. And I am now here today and going into my 4th selling season this year. So very, very, very excited and glad that I decided to stick with it. Now, another question I get all the time is if I am captive or independent. I am independent. I'm fully independent. I am, okay, so let me start all over. I am an ICA with United Healthcare. What an ICA is independent career agent. So I am a 1099, just like any other insurance broker. I am not a salaried employee with any company. I just solely chose to contract with United Healthcare. So on the life insurance side, I have appointments with many carriers. I use more than one carrier on the life insurance side. However, when I decided to take the plunge and get into Medicare, I only wanted to contract with one carrier. I only wanted to appoint with one carrier because I wanted to learn first. So I did not want to appoint with all the carriers. I really wanted to take the time and learn because I felt like this would be more detailed. I realized that there was a lot more compliance. So that's why I went the ICA route. So for the misconception for those, ICA is not salaried. We're not on the time clock. We are still 1099 employees. We just choose to solely appoint with one carrier. Now down the line, if I choose, I may go ahead and appoint with other carriers. My IMO is okay with that. They have all the carriers, so I can absolutely do that if I want to. But I just solely chose to appoint with one for the time being because, again, I wanted to learn the business first. I did not have anyone bring me in. I kind of found it on my own, and I wanted to make sure that this was going to be good for me. I wanted to make sure this was going to be good for me. At the time that I had started, I was still working my full-time job, but I have since let that go, and I'm doing insurance full-time. So that is, in a nutshell, how I got into insurance. That, in a nutshell, should answer if I am independent or captive. I don't even know what captive really is. From what I see, I think it's those that like work for an insurance company directly, like maybe like a Nationwide or something. I'm not for sure. So if those of you to know, you could definitely let me know. But I am independent. So I hope that helps answer that question. The other question I get is it easy? And for me, I'm going to say this: yes and no. And I say yes and no because some days are better than others. Some calls are better than others. Sometimes you get responses to your mailers, and sometimes you get completely ignored and get nothing. So, yes and no. It can be, but also it cannot be. It is work. I will say that. It is definitely hard work. It's like anything, it's what you put into it, right? It's what you put into it. So, I work this business like I worked my corporate job. I have set office hours. So, although I'm here now getting ready for an appointment, I have been up since 6. I've been up since 6. My work days start at 9, and I finish off the day at 5. Saturdays, if I don't have any appointments, because I may open up my book for Saturdays to take an appointment, is that's the only absolutely day that someone can meet with me. And then I also do community outreach and events on Saturdays. So like for instance, this Saturday, I will be doing an aging and wellness expo that's going to be here in town. So I'm going to be working all day Saturday, 9 to 3 at the expo as a vendor, which is going to be exciting because I really love the expos. They're fun. They're fun. You get to meet the people and other vendors and talk to other people in the industry. And then the seniors are just a fun group to work with. They are living their best life, I feel, because they have entertainment there. They have no worries. You know, they've lived. And so now they're enjoying the benefits of their hard work, I feel. And so they're always a blast to be around. But that's how I do it. I schedule my vacations and holidays as if I still work at corporate. That's what helps me because in this business, you make your own schedule. You can do what you want to do when you want to do it. So you make your own schedule. And so for someone that may not be structured or just may fly by the seat of their pants, I don't know, this could work great for you. It could not work great for you. For someone new entering sales, I was new entering sales. At the beginning, and I'm gonna be honest, at the beginning, me being able to make my own schedule was not a good thing because I was like, oh, I could just take the morning off, right? Or I could just take this afternoon off. I don't have to do anything. But then it showed in my pay. I was like, when that commission hit, I was like, ooh, okay, maybe I should have, yeah. So I structure my days. That's how I do it. But you know, you work it how you want to work it. You can set for yourself the income goals that you want to reach, or you could just kind of fly and see how much you can make or reach. But it is all up to you. My gosh, I need a wax really, really bad. I need to make an appointment for an eyebrow and lip wax. But yeah, that is, in a nutshell, how I got my start. Whether I am captive or independent, I'm neither. I'm ICA. I am independent and also an ICA. And if it's easy or not, that is all going to be selective to one's, you know, how they feel about it. I say it's easy and hard, or neither easy or hard. It's work. It's hard work. So, but it's fun. I will say it is fun. I have a good time. Of course, there's going to be those off days, maybe an off week, maybe even an off month. But for the most part, I really, truly love what I do. And the people that I get to meet. And even on the life insurance side, if I'm being honest, that is fun. To me, that is a little bit harder only because life insurance is something that people definitely have to see the need for. I feel like if they don't see the need for it, then it's not something that they are really going to take seriously or really may be interested in. You really have to see the need to want to protect your family with that type of coverage. So that's a little harder push, but I also feel like it's also how you break it down and explain and educate to that client, consumer that you're talking with. Yeah. So I am going to finish up my little makeup here, and I'm going to get dressed, and then I will be right back so we can pack up the bag, order my lunch. You guys know I'm going to go to Panera today, and then come on back in when I am fully ready to go. Hey, y'all. So I am back, fully dressed and ready to go. Jeans, top, got all my stuff packed up. I am just going to go right now and make my tea. It's 9:22, so I'm making good time. She's still screaming. Oh, let me turn off the light in here. Yep, she's still screaming. It's two of them, by the way, but the main one that's screaming is the girl. We have a girl and a boy, cockatiel bird. But she's the loud one this morning. So I'm gonna get ready, and I just have to make my green tea so that way I won't have to make a Starbucks run. I am gonna stop and pick up a salad from Panera so that I will have that for lunch. But yeah, I wanted to come back on because I am ready for the day and say thank you guys for tuning in and getting ready with me this morning. I hope that information was helpful to anyone that was looking for any helpful information. I hope that gives you all a little more insight. And I like that I did that video. It was a nice break from my normal week in the life videos. I'm trying to think of, I know I was away for a minute, and part of it, I was out of town. I was visiting my mom. But also, I just didn't want to bring the same content. I got clips and stuff, but as I was going back and watching them, I was like, this is not really any different. So I thought today I could really sit and really give you guys some more insight on how I got to introduced or how I got into the insurance industry. So I hope that helped. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'm going to go ahead and make my green tea and then hit the road so I can make it over to the office by 10 because I have my client coming in at 10:15. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave any comments, questions below. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all in my next video.